Today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous loaf of homemade bread. This is sour cream sandwich bread, and I made it using my bread machine dough cycle and baked it in the oven. But you can also bake this entirely in your bread machine. I'll also leave directions on how you can make this in your stand mixer. This is such a simple and easy loaf of bread to make using your bread machine. To make this sour cream sandwich bread, all you need is 6 really simple ingredients, and that's all it takes. You want some salt, some sour cream, some water, some brown sugar, some flour, and some yeast. And that is it. So simple. So we're just going to throw everything into our bread machine loaf pan. And when you use a bread machine, you want to do the liquids first, followed by the dry ingredients. So I'm going to give you this recipe in both weight and volume. Now this is a 1.5 pound loaf of bread that I'm making today, but I'm also going to leave you the recipe for a 1 pound loaf, a 1.5 pound loaf, and a 2 pound loaf. Okay, to get started, we want a 1/2 cup plus 1 tablespoon of warm water. That's 135 grams. I'm going to put that right on into my bread machine loaf pan. Now you want this to be lukewarm, about 100 to 110 degrees. That is perfect for your yeast. If it's too cool, then your yeast won't activate, it won't rise very well. If it's too warm, it can actually kill your yeast. So the temperature is pretty important. You want it to be like warm bath water that you would put your baby in. After the water, now we want our sour cream. Now this is 1 cup or 240 grams of sour cream. I use the full fat sour cream, but I really think that you can get by with lower fat or even fat-free for this. And if you're in a bind, then you can also use Greek yogurt. That works just fine too. It's all going to be tangy, and this sour cream makes it really tender, gives you a really great soft and fluffy loaf of bread. So if you've never had sour cream bread, give this one a try. Next, we want some brown sugar. This is 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of packed brown sugar. So I'm going to put that right on into my loaf pan. Now you can also just use white sugar, you can use honey, you can use stevia, anything like that will work just fine, but I like this loaf with brown sugar. Now it's time to add the flour. I'm adding 3.5 cups or 420 grams of bread flour. Now, if you don't have any bread flour and you have all-purpose flour, well, a good trick is if you add some vital wheat gluten to your all-purpose flour, then it makes it act like bread flour. Because bread flour just has a little bit higher protein content than the all-purpose flour, you're going to get a better chew, a better rise out of your breads made with bread flour over all-purpose flour. Now, bread flour is quite a bit more expensive than all-purpose flour these days, so a good trick is to get some vital wheat gluten and add about 1 teaspoon per cup of flour that your recipe calls for, and this will make it into bread flour. So that's a good little trick. You do have the upfront cost of the vital wheat gluten, but it goes really far. So for this recipe, if you have all-purpose flour and you happen to have some vital wheat gluten, then you can add about a tablespoon of vital wheat gluten and it'll act like bread flour. And our next ingredient for this recipe is some salt. I'm going to use this Redmond's real salt. You can use any salt that you have, but I'm going to add 1.25 teaspoon of salt, which is about 7 grams. Just don't pour it over your loaf pan or you might way over salt your bread. So 1.25 teaspoons. That is a little bit more than I usually use for a loaf of bread, but this sour cream bread can be a little bit bland if you don't add enough salt. So I recommend 1.25 teaspoons. And the next ingredient is our yeast. This is some SAF instant yeast. You can use bread machine yeast, rapid rise, active dry. I like using the SAF instant yeast, but I wanted to show you this. This is a brand new brick of yeast. You can see that it's super hard as a rock. And when you open it, and it's not sealed anymore, then it's not hard anymore. So I get some questions about that. So I wanted to show you this when it was brand new. Now, I like to keep my yeast in the freezer. I buy it in bulk like this instead of in those little packets or in those little jars that you see at the grocery store. This is a way better deal. And if you keep it in your freezer, it's gonna last forever. It's gonna last years and years past the expiration date. So that's what I recommend doing. This is a brick of yeast that I've actually had in my freezer for several years. It's actually 4 years past the expiration date, but it's fine because it has been in the freezer and I do this all the time, so I know that it's going to be just fine. So for this recipe, I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of the Saf instant yeast, which is about 6 grams. So I definitely recommend buying it in bulk like this rather than those little packets. This will go a lot farther for you. And guess what? Those are already all of our ingredients for the sour cream sandwich bread made in the bread machine. Time to throw this in the bread machine. This is my Zojirashi Home Bakery Supreme bread machine that it has made hundreds, probably thousands of loaves of bread for me. So I've put my bread machine loaf pan into the bread machine, and now you get to choose if you want to make this entirely in the bread machine or if you want to use the bread machine dough cycle and bake it in the oven. I love to use the dough cycle, so that's what I'm going to do today. But if you just want to make yours in the bread machine, then just choose a basic white cycle and press start. And in just about 3 hours, you're going to have a fantastic loaf of bread machine sour cream sandwich bread. But for me, I'm going to choose the dough cycle. I love to use the dough cycle, and then I bake it in the oven, and I just think you just get a better loaf of bread that way. So when I have time, that's how I do it. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. Now, it's going to take about an hour and a half, and I'm going to press start. And this starts mixing and kneading right away. And in about 5 minutes, I'm going to check on my ball of dough. That's so important to do to be sure that your dough isn't too wet or too dry. If you do that and you adjust your dough, then you're going to get a really great loaf of bread. So I'll show this to you in about 5 minutes and show you exactly what your dough should look like. It's been about 5 minutes since I started my bread machine. I've given this time to mix and start to knead, and this is when I like to check on my ball of dough and just be sure it's not too wet or too dry. This is such an important thing to do when using your bread machine. Now mine isn't sticking to the sides or to the bottom or to the paddles. If it is, that means that it's too wet and you want to add a little bit more flour. Start with about a tablespoon at a time until it comes together more like this. Now if yours is looking all ragged and crumbly, then you know that it's too dry. You want to add about a tablespoon of water or milk at a time. Let it mix up really well. It's going to look a little bit funny for a bit, but let it mix and then check on it again and be sure it looks more like this. Even if you use a kitchen scale and weigh exactly to the gram, bread dough really needs to be looked at and read and adjusted accordingly. If it looks too wet, add a little bit more flour. If it looks too dry, add a little bit more water. And that's just because your climate, your humidity, your elevation, so many things affect your bread dough. All right, if you're gonna make this entirely in the bread machine, in a few hours, you're gonna have a great loaf of bread. If you're making this in the dough cycle, like me, in about an hour and a half, it's gonna be time to shape this, let it rise, and bake it in the oven. The dough cycle is just about complete, so I'm going to go ahead and prepare my loaf pan to put my dough into. This is my very favorite loaf pan. This is an 8.5 by 4.5 inch cast iron loaf pan. It's free of any of those nonstick chemical coatings to get into our foods. I love the cast iron. But to prepare it for our dough, I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. And what I do is I just pour in maybe a teaspoon or two, maybe a tablespoon, just a little bit of oil into my cast iron. And then you can use a brush, or I'm just going to use this paper towel. And I am just going to coat the bottom and the sides and the corners really well with this olive oil. And now it is ready for our dough. So in just a few minutes, the dough cycle is going to be complete. And our dough will go in here and it won't stick at all. The dough cycle is complete. Look at this risen dough for our sour cream bread. Doesn't this look good? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it out from my bread machine loaf pan. The dough cycle took about an hour and a half, and now we have this really great dough. Look at this. Oh, this feels so good. It's slightly sticky, a little bit tacky, but that lets me know this is gonna be a really good, fluffy loaf of bread. It's definitely not too dry. This is perfect. So what you want to do is just press out your dough really well. Press it out, really flatten it, get all of those air bubbles out of it. And then I like to try to make it about as wide as my loaf pan is long, just like that. Now I'm simply going to roll this down into a nice tight log. You can do the head down, shoulders in method. You can do it however you'd like, but this is the easiest way. Just roll it up together really well. Press those seams together all along the bottom. Press the edges together really well. And this will help your bread stay together and not expand at the seams as it's baking. Pat it out really good. Flip it over so that seam is on the bottom. Oh, this is looking great. And that is all it takes. Now I'm just going to plop this into my loaf pan. And now the next step is to let this rise. I'm going to let this rise in the loaf pan for about 30 minutes. This totally depends on the temperature of your home and your elevation. But I'm going to be looking for it to peek up over the edge of the loaf pan. You don't want to let it get too high. That would be over risen, and then it'll just have a bad texture. So I'll show you exactly what this should look like when it's risen. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and get my oven preheated to 350 degrees so that I can just throw this in when it's the perfect height. The dough for my sour cream sandwich bread has only been rising for about 20 minutes, and look how well it has risen. This is ready to get thrown into the oven. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I'm gonna let this bake for 30 minutes. I've last minute decided to score this loaf. This is mainly just to make it pretty, but this does help it to rise and expand a little bit better in the oven. So I just gave it a few slashes on the top, and now I'm gonna throw it into the oven to bake. All right, y'all, check out our sour cream sandwich bread made using the bread machine dough cycle and baked in the oven. This is a gorgeous loaf of bread. It rose really well. It's a really pretty color. Oh, it feels nice and light. I can tell it's gonna be nice and fluffy inside. This looks great. Now this baked at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. Now, like always, I like to turn it out of the loaf pan immediately. I like to brush a little bit of melted butter all over the top. This is salted butter, but you can use whatever you want. This will give it that really pretty shine. It's already looking prettier, and it'll give you a nice soft loaf of bread. The crust is gonna be nice and soft. I'm so glad that I scored the top. I think that looks really pretty on this loaf. Okay, I have it brushed with butter. Now, instead of putting it on a cooling rack, I like to just cover it, like always, with a tea towel. And as it cools, that warmth and the condensation in there is gonna give us an even softer crust, a better loaf of bread. So I'm gonna let this cool just for a little bit because you'll get a better crumb, better texture if you do that. And then we'll slice into it and check it out. I've let this loaf of sour cream sandwich bread cool for about an hour. It's still a little bit warm, but I am ready to slice into this and check out the inside because I know this is gonna be a fantastic loaf of bread. Oh my goodness, look at that. What a pretty crumb. That looks good. I'm going to slice into it a little bit more. Now, if you cut into yours after it's totally cool, you are going to get a better crumb, a better crumble, a better texture out of your bread. But when you make homemade bread, don't you want to eat some while it's warm? I know I sure do. Look at that. That is pretty. That is a beautiful slice of bread right there. And the smell is phenomenal. It smells so good. It smells just a bit tangy from that sour cream. Oh, it smells so good. Look at that. It is a nice, light, fluffy loaf. I'm gonna tear into this slice so that we can really check out this loaf of bread. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Soft, fluffy, really nice, soft crust. This one is perfect for sandwiches. It's substantial enough just to really spread on your peanut butter and jelly, or it's great for toast too. Or what I normally do is I grab a piece off the countertop and I just eat it because this is such good bread. Now y'all know that I love bread, but this one has such a great texture from that sour cream, has that tang that you can smell and taste. This one is pretty fantastic. I'm going to store this sour cream sandwich bread in one of our handmade beeswax bread bags. These are made by me and my daughters right here on our family farm. We make them from start to finish. We infuse them with organic beeswax, and this is how I like to store my homemade bread and all of my baked goods. These are a healthier alternative to plastic bread bags, and we'd love to send you one or a couple. Also, give my cottage cheese bread a try. It is soft and fluffy. I will leave the recipe for the sour cream sandwich bread down in the description and on my website, robinonthefarm.com. While you're there, be sure to check out our handmade beeswax bread bags. Thanks so much for being here with me on Robin on the Farm. I'll see y'all next time.
Robin's in the kitchen, dough beneath her hands, wheat from the fields and eggs from her land. Sunlight through the window, a warm golden glow. She's working hard to make that dough. With flour on her apron, loving each knead,